doing it. You supposed to be happy you sitting there with Kid L. Why you mad?
The Kid L Podcast.
2-1, rocking and rolling, the prolific man, the undisputed, somebody you do not want to go toe-to-toe with in any category, especially when it's on the microphone. Dawgface Calderon is in the building. What's happening, my boy?
I'm in the building. I appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate this is like my fourth time.
I think about fourth. Yeah.
About four. Yeah, I'm a champ at this.
Oh yeah, no, you're a killer.
I'm a champ at this, man. I appreciate the opportunity, like always, man. I appreciate the invite, and I appreciate just the opportunity to be able to sit down and chop it up with somebody.
Whenever I know you're in town, man, it's like automatic. You got to come on the show. You got to chop it up, man. And you got your own podcast too, which I come from time to time too, which is awesome. But the thing about it is, you've been extinguished on the level of platform exposure, unfortunately. And we talk about this every single time, but the reason that it's unfortunate is because when you have a voice that really pierces through and has a lot of truth to it, being put under a blanket and people covering it up by basically exterminating your social media accounts, it makes it hard for your voice to get out there. Luckily, YouTube is there.
Yes, luckily. And Patreon. I'm on Twitch now, so I'm streaming.
Yes.
Shout out to Lando, because Lando just put me in the game with the whole Twitch thing and set me up.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm on Twitch now. I'm taking this thing all the way.
Twitch sounds scary for you, bro. Twitch sounds like they don't know where you're at and shit. Like they know where Doggy's at. Like he's at that building. He's over there. He's there. It's
but I can use my virtual.
Virtual.
Yeah, because I have set up in Tampa Bay, set up in Detroit, set up in Atlanta.
Okay.
So cool. I use virtual so motherfuckers won't know where I'm at.
Okay, good. I'm about to say.
That's where you see the logo behind me. You know what I'm saying? I try to, I don't mind people knowing where I'm at, but it's always best to try to be as incognito as possible unless you have to kind of like, materialize and then just do what you do. Right?
Absolutely. So, you're still able to pierce through even with a lot of your social media accounts getting banned and everything like that, which is cool, man. Like I said, YouTube, you still pop off when you have a hot topic. Everybody's tapping in.
Right.
When I went to go get you from your car, the first thing you told me is that your hand is broken, which is crazy.
Right.
What happened to the hand, bro?
I had a misunderstanding with somebody, man. You hear me? Yep. And I broke two bones in my hand. You can see my knuckles pushed back right here.
Oh my God.
Yeah, right there. You can see the knuckles pushed back right there. I broke two bones in my hand. I'm supposed to have a cast on. I refused to cast because I move around too much. And I don't want nobody to see me like a wounded dog. You know what I'm saying? So I have a soft cast that I put on and take off whenever I need to.
Well, how long was the interaction of the misunderstanding? Was it like seconds or was it like
seconds?
It was
it was a look, and then I socked them in their shit. You know what I'm saying? That was it. And then after that, it was I wasn't even on that. Well, you gotta, you was looking like you was on that. You look like you on that. As far as I'm concerned, you on that. I can't afford to be sitting back waiting.
Right, you're not gonna predict what this guy's.
I'm not gonna do no shit like that.
Get to business, right?
And I think by now I've already proven that I'm not finna sit back and wait. I argue with you over social media.
Oh yeah,
but I'm not finna argue with no motherfucker in real life. If I see you and if you rip your mug up, if you give me a look like it's an issue, I'm gonna ask you what's happening. And if you give me any kind of I'm socking your shit.
For sure. That's where that pump faking really fails people, right? When you pump fake somebody.
I'm never going to allow a motherfucker that I know. First of all, I don't respect these guys. They cowards. And so I understand cowards do what cowards do. So, guys are dudes too. I've seen guys and I ignore them and then the guys go to take the social media like, oh, I seen Dawgface. He ain't do nothing, say nothing. And I don't really even care, bro. These guys are beneath me in every way imaginable, so I don't even care. I shouldn't even be arguing and going back and forth with these motherfuckers who don't have no motion, who ain't doing shit.
It is crazy though, because you see a lot of footage of people brandishing weapons, right? And it backfires a lot of the time because they didn't even really try to use it or intend to use it.
Yeah,
it was more of a scare factor thing, right?
Yeah,
the fear to protect. But
listen, in the world we live in now, Kid, to be quite frank and to be honest, you can never really predict what somebody's gonna do, and you have people we have a whole generation of people now who grew up not knowing how to fight. They don't know how to fight. They don't know how to wrestle. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna go to a gun or they're gonna jump you or some shit like that. You hear me? So it's a lot of this is just about just knowing what you're dealing with when you deal with it and understanding the temperament and sizing it up. I don't take anything for granted.
Well, I've seen a lot of your topics when you talk about the shootings that go on in the city, especially these pool party shootings and whatnot, the barbecue shootings and whatnot. And the thing that's crazy about the concept is like when these people are making attacks or pulling out weapons and shooting it, it's like it's like almost like you don't think about the future of prison time or the fact that there's murders happening or anything. It's almost just like that moment for that person. Like, this is the moment right now. Me holding this gun and shooting at this person is that moment.
Yeah, but let me tell you something, Kid L. When it comes to the black community as a whole, by and large, a lot of the things that we find ourselves in, a lot of those things are preventable based on not putting yourself in a predicament in the first place. Like they said, one of the funniest memes that I saw, and it wasn't funny because it was a tragic situation, but one of the funniest things I saw, and I'm going to call it funny because it was funny because the irony of it, not because it was humorous, right? The irony of it is 7 Mile and Gratiot and pool party don't go together. Who in the fuck don't know that? If you were to say, hey, dog, I'm having a pool party, and I say, oh, where? 7 Mile and Gratiot. First of all, I'm not coming. Why am I not coming? Because you already have an environment, just from a geographic standpoint, where there are disagreeable people likely to be there. So why, if I have anything going, if I value my life at all, why would I put myself in a situation where I would go to some place like that when I know the likelihood of something going wrong is high as hell? The likelihood of something going wrong, if you go to this club, if you go to that neighborhood, if you go to this affair, if you go to this party, if you go to this show, what's the demographic of people who are going to be there? And then what's the propensity for violence? What's the likelihood for an altercation? What's the likelihood for a collision? Okay, if that is on a scale from 1 to 5, if the likelihood of something going wrong is above a 2, I ain't going. So my point is, a lot of the things that we find ourselves in as a people, a lot of that shit can be avoided because we already know going into it. It's like we don't even give a fuck. We black people are some adventurous motherfuckers, bro. We would go into some dangerous situations, understanding that it's dangerous, and go into this shit like it's just we going to fucking Walmart somewhere. So people have to start taking responsibility and accountability for the people, for the places they put themselves in, and for the people who they associate with. If you're associating with somebody who you know has issues and has problems, if you find yourself in a situation where you're having to defend your life or to defend somebody else's life, you shouldn't complain. Because a lot of times it's not necessarily it wouldn't be you. It would be the people who you find yourself in association with, the people you find yourself around. People are ignoring the politics that our friends and family members are in and ignoring it like it just doesn't fucking exist. And that's why you find so many people, so many innocent bystanders getting killed. And then the kid thing, that's a whole nother issue. You know what I'm saying? Because you have kids who are engaging in grown folks' street behavior. Yes. And those kids are not, they're able to shoot a gun. They're able to commit. I mean, you can get you can put a gun in a 4-year-old kid's hand and a kid can shoot it. Might not be cognizant or aware of the consequences, but that happens. You have young kids who are engaged in grown folks' behavior, and then the backlash of that is, if I'm 15 years old and you and I get into a beef and you 25, 26 and I'm 15, you know I'm 15. You know me. We've been arguing back and forth on social media. You know my family. I know your family and friends. You know I'm 15, 16. Do I stay with myself, or do I stay with my mama, my big mama, my auntie, my godmother, somebody like that? It ain't hard to find these young guys because these young guys are not cerebral enough to understand. They know that the gun means death. They know that jumping somebody means beef. They know what Crip and blood mean, but their minds are not mature enough to understand, look, me and you got a problem, you 15, I know you stay with your mama. Right? Yeah. It's going to take just a little bit of digging to figure out where you stay at. Because the people who think you're homeboys, they're going to tell. And the little young females you fucking with, they going to tell. And they going to tell not even knowing they telling. So it doesn't take much research in order to find out where you are. And then when I come, I'm coming and I'm trying to get back at whatever. I'm trying to retaliate based on what you did to me.
Yeah.
I'm doing the same thing. So a lot of people, a lot of black people, a lot of black mothers and fathers and grandmothers and aunties, they have little young thugs in their house they know in gangs. They know involved with gang activity. They know they're involved with criminal activity. They know they jugging, busting moves, playing on motherfuckers, robbing them motherfuckers. They know they doing all that kind of shit, but you still allow them to come back to your household. If you allow a motherfucker to come back to your household, you're really putting everybody in your household in danger. Mm-hmm. So if you want to avoid getting your house shot up, if you want to avoid the innocent loss of life, these are innocents who are getting caught up in the crossfire. If you want to avoid that, you got to put them little young bitch ass niggas out. And if you know a kid is engaged in that shit, the likelihood of retaliation is high as fuck. That's our level 5 for us. Remember we said 1 through 5. Level 5, I ain't going. Level 2, anything past 2, I ain't going. Well, so is the same in the street. You let a motherfucker, whether they're a child or grown, who you know in the streets, you let them come to your house, let them frequent your house, let them hang out in your house or around your house. When something happens, you can't motherfucking cry because you should know better as an adult. You know you're putting everybody at risk. And these young kids are not savvy enough, are not wise enough to understand. They're just going back home to play GTA after they went and slid on a motherfucker. You're asking for it.
It's very difficult to manage as a parent, you would assume, just because there's so many dynamics to being able to control your kid outside of their
it ain't difficult to manage. If parents, open your fucking eye. Stop closing your eyes. Stop turning the blind eye.
Like ground them, like keep them in the house all day? Like
no,
what?
I said put their bitch ass out.
Like kick them
I
out
ain't
of the
saying
house?
about no motherfucking grounding.
Like kick them out of the house?
If you in gangs and you run around with a ARP, you run around with a Draco, you run around with a switch, you run around with dick and nuts on the gun. You come through this bitch, you sag, and you ain't got a job, and you ain't going to school. You mean to tell me as a parent you don't have no idea what your kid is doing? You completely, listen, most of these parents and guardians of these kids, they know full well the behavior and the activities of these young kids. They don't give a fuck. They ain't thinking about the consequence of what's going to happen. Until it happens, they start hooping and hollering and crying like they don't have a fucking clue about how that shit just happened.
Right.
Simple as that. And the gangs are derelict and negligent in their responsibility in terms of taking care of their own hood. Gangs, there's always been a symbiotic relationship in the ghetto. From the 70s, late 60s, early 70s up until right now, the gangs are not supposed to eat their own hood. They're not supposed to eat their own kind. These motherfuckers are acting like reptiles, cold-blooded motherfucking marsupials who eat their youth. The gangs ain't even protecting their own hood. They ain't schooling nobody on nothing. You know what I'm saying? If anybody think the gang has a positive impact on the hood, they a stupid, retarded motherfucker.
Right. Because when you go back to the roots of the Crips and Bloods, it was for protection against
community.
The community.
Yeah, against the police and anybody who may seek to bring harm, but we are so far removed from what the original intentions of the gang was supposed to be, right? It was supposed to be, like I said, it's supposed to be symbiotic. You protect us, and therefore we protect you when the lawman come looking for you. When you see Pookie, no, we ain't seen Pookie, but Pookie right here. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, all these gangs doing are eating their own kind, right? They bringing drama and strife to their own hood. And then when something happened, they ain't thinking about the greater neighborhood. They ain't thinking about Miss Johnson or Mr. Jenkins. They only think about themselves. And then they ain't even really thinking about themselves because they do shit and they're not even protecting their neighborhood to make sure that people are okay. And then they're exposing their family members to death and harm as well.
The most interesting thing that we're seeing now is because of the access to cameras and media and how prolific crimes are happening is that everything's being filmed. But you're wondering, like, a lot of the times, why are these things being filmed instead of being prevented or stopped as they're happening?
And listen, Kidell, did you see the footage of the pool party stabbing that happened?
Yeah.
You saw full-grown, bearded men with braids, muscle-bound guys like they've been in the gym. You saw them. You didn't see the girls with cameras. You saw men with cameras. You saw full-grown men laughing and joking, reporting live from the east side. While you had a conflict going on, and most of the people at this particular pool party, they knew each other. Most of them were family or like family. You saw it. Every man who was there was supposed to be full-blown trying to break that situation up to defuse it. Yeah. Everybody was there. But you got motherfuckers with cameras filming and laughing while people they know are actually locked into battles. And then you have a situation where you have a full-grown 260 pound, 6'3" guy, mama. His mama's there getting attacked, getting jumped on by people he knows. Bro, you can't put your hands on nobody's mama.
Right.
You can't. I don't give a fuck if he had zero relationship with his mama. You can't put your hand. The likelihood, he showed an amazing amount of restraint. An amazing amount. I actually think that Ken Worthy bet fucking not prosecute the guy, because I watched the tape. I watched it from two angles. I had footage from two angles, and I watched the guy try to defuse the situation, even though his mama was being attacked, held by the hair and socked in the face, and he was showing the. I actually felt like he should have been bulldozing their ass before the stabbing even happened. He should not be prosecuted because all he was trying to do is protect his mom from people who were trying to aggressively attack her and run up on him and talk shit. So in my motherfucking opinion, he should have stabbed their motherfucking ass. I ain't got a problem with it in the world. I'd stab their ass too. I would have stabbed them way before that.
Damn.
I would stab motherfucker way before that because you keep on running up. I told you to back up off me. I ain't hitting you. I'm trying to break you up. I'm trying to kick you. And I'm not coming towards you. You're coming towards me.
It's crazy how like a pool party might need security guard measures now.
No, it's not crazy. It's in the ghetto. Everything in the ghetto needs a fucking security guard.
It's wild, man.
Because niggas don't know how to act. And so therefore, if you're niggas don't know how to act. Niggas don't know how to act. Niggas don't know how to have a good time. And then when you take people who are already extremely, severely undereducated, my words, not yours, and you mix alcohol and drugs and weed and all that shit with it, there's nothing that can come good. There's nothing good can come out of that shit.
Yes.
Nothing. And you saw it. You got grown men filming. Every grown man was there. It's a bitch ass nigga. All the grown men who was there who were not actively involved with trying to break people up and to squash that shit and have people who all know each other, who are mostly related to each other, who are all familiar with each other, go their own separate ways. After the initial situation happened and they split the mother up, and that should have been it. But you got motherfuckers with the camera out. It was all fun and games until somebody died. Then when somebody died, you got a bunch of motherfucking clueless motherfuckers sitting around that bitch talking about, I can't believe it happened. How could you not believe it happened? What the fuck is you talking about? No, motherfuckers they're being disingenuous when they say they can't believe it happened. Because I'm surprised that it wasn't a shooting. I'm surprised that motherfuckers didn't start attacking each other with more aggressiveness sooner. Because if you got your hands on my mama, my nigga, I'm busting your ass. And ain't nothing motherfucking can tell me.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
So all that shit like that, with all this shit with motherfuckers, some of they surprised. And listen, the kids are trying to be gangsters. They're involved in gangster shit. You got these same kids who are involved in the gangster shit in your house with your elderly mother, your elderly father, your grandmother, your other kids. You have to start, if those kids don't want to listen, if they don't want to subscribe to your program, then you have to remove them from your home so that you can protect the people who are there, who are trying to live and thrive. If you don't want to listen to what I got to say, if you're not going to change your behavior, I'm not finna play with you. You got to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Simple as that. I don't give a fuck if you 15. If you ain't listening to me, you got to go because you endangering the people here who ain't into that shit.
At least like a military school or something, boot camp, man.
They need to do something. Trump need to come. He need to come to military school or something. Man. You want to be a gangster? Take your ass to military school and be as gangster as you want to be.
Shoot whenever you want.
And I know I'm gonna get a lot of backlash to this shit because I know people are gonna be like, "Man, you don't kill and kill." And I don't give a fuck. Hey, listen, you niggas need to take more responsibility.
Backlash for what? You're saying?
Because motherfuckers, they go like, "Man, you saying that shit for the kill ill. You know
what's crazy?
Like black people.
People stop saying that for some reason.
because because it has no legs to it. That's why.
I think I'm kind of like in a good, like, chill thing now. Like, I kind of like it.
Don't never trust these niggas.
I'm just feeling like I haven't seen any hate towards me in a long ass time.
Don't you never trust these niggas, kid.
I've been seeing a lot
these
of love
niggas
and
are waiting back with their fangs ready to release on you. Don't you fucking trust these motherfuckers?
For me to slip up,
they waiting for you to say, anything or do anything. It probably be this right here.
It'd be crazy.
Yeah, probably this right here.
Dawgface gets me canceled somehow. That'd be insane.
They can't cancel you. How can they cancel something that they didn't help create?
Right.
How can they cancel something?
I think cancel culture is kind of over though. I think like that whole thing, like everything, just like, you know, everybody was getting canceled, comedians, actors, actresses. I think it's done.
Listen,
it's done. Like
I receive phone calls.
Yeah.
when the cancel Kid L thing was at a feverish pitch.
Yeah.
Dawgface, why are you talking to him? You're making. I want to say something right now, but I don't want to be too derogatory. But my whole thought process was go fuck yourself. Right? And because every time I've needed Kid L, and this is not every time I've needed him, without me even asking, he's lended his assistance to me. And there are people who look just like me who contacted Kid L and tried to pressing not to fuck with me.
I swear, bro.
What the fuck? Hey, listen.
It will never work like that, man.
No.
Doggy, recently the music scene has kind of felt a little stale in Michigan.
Kind of felt a little stale, or it is stale. Let's be plain spoken.
People lie, which is crazy, and I just want people to stop lying about how on fire everything is. Like, just stop lying.
It ain't on fire at all. It's not even lukewarm around this bitch no more.
But people just lie. They just go like, no, everything, because they want that image for the rest of the world. Like, no, we're on fire, but it's just,
bro,
it's
this
not,
bitch is chocolate milk on ice. This bitch is chocolate milk on ice.
The succeeders are staying afloat. That's all I'll say. The succeeders are staying afloat.
Yeah,
Everybody below that is like, they're working jobs. They're trying to figure it out. They don't know what's going on. It's all messed up around here.
How do they not know what's going on when they had so many examples at this point? When the game plan is already spelled out at this point. If you're looking for somebody else to grab you by your shoulder and walk you through the door of stardom, then you might be wasting your motherfucking time. Mm-hmm. You might need to devise a different strategy, because that's never going to work. You know what I'm saying? Because these guys are trying to stay afloat themselves. They're trying to stay relevant themselves. They're trying to stay booked themselves, because they ain't getting no money from streams. Their money comes from features and shows. When the shows dry up and motherfuckers ain't got no money for no features, then a lot of these motherfuckers are really living off the fat that they accumulated in the winter, like a bear.
If they have it.
If they have it.
And then these cannabis companies are throwing some stacks too, though. I'm not gonna lie. These cannabis companies are throwing mad cheese at the rappers, bro. They give them like 10 racks just to like fucking say one thing.
Once they wise up, this rapper's done.
Oh, yeah.
Once the cannabis motherfuckers gonna smoke weed whether a rapper sees somebody or not. Yeah. I don't know why the cannabis companies are wasting their money.
I think they know now. I think they figured it out. It's slowed down for sure.
Now, if the cannabis companies are involved with concerts now, that is a viable business plan. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, that means you're supporting rappers. Yeah, but if I own the cannabis company,
but you know what's interesting too? I think even people buying features are getting hip too. Like, this shit ain't really worth it. Like,
especially the bigger the artist is, because they ain't even clearing the features. You can't do shit with it. So why the fuck would I give you $20,000 for a feature and you're not even controlled whether it get cleared or not? That's your company, your record company.
A lot of scams.
And they ain't gonna clear. So all the rappers out there need to be aware of that. Don't give a motherfucker a penny for a feature unless it comes with the clearance and the video too.
Yeah, exactly. That's where the scamming is coming in hand, right?
It's been that way, though.
Yeah, it's been like that for a long time. They're feeding off of the guys that are aspiring to become artists. This has been going on for hundreds of years.
That's the hustle. That's the hustle of it all. You hear me?
But what do you think it is that's making the Detroit music scene not as flourishing as it once was?
Everybody didn't get fat. They get comfortable. Everybody driving Maybachs. Everybody driving 580s. Everybody driving cyber trucks. Everybody driving Harleys. Everybody's going to Miami. Everybody's going to South Africa. Everybody's going to London. And so the natural consequence of that is that sometimes people who were once motivated to be as big as they could be, not just for the fame of it, but for the fortune of it. When you have fortune, you're not as hungry as you were when you was back on the block on 6 Mile or on Mac or on Joy Road or something.
You said it, brother.
Yeah, that's what it is. So
because
I mean,
this music lately, man, god damn, bro.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing is exactly what it is. It's not that they don't have good music in them. It's not that they don't. I'm waiting for Sada Baby. I'm waiting for Sada. I've never cheered for Sada at all. Me and Sada have had a tumultuous relationship. We've had a not so friendly, not so cozy relationship. But I did speak to him last summer at the Boss Mandilo show, backstage. We were backstage. We kicked it for the first time since I think 2015 or 16. We got into it about Hard Work Jig, right? Yeah. And Sada came to me. And I just knew we was finna get to a fight. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the kind of motherfucker he is. You hear me? But he came to me like, man, let me holler at you, bro. Like, we ain't enemies, man. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen Sada act hot-headed in many times, right? Yep. On many occasions. I've seen him be unreasonable in many situations, but I had pulled my motherfucking pants up. We finna fight this motherfucker. I'm gonna fight motherfucker too. We was fighting motherfuckers in this bitch. But he came to me like, man, dog, bro, we never really had no issue. You know what I'm saying? And it was I appreciated him. I appreciate having the opportunity to talk to him and to kick it with him like that. And it was maybe a 5-minute conversation. And he's like, man, just let me, you know what I'm saying? You one of the people who I wanted to chop it up with because we don't have no beef. I've been doing Sada, before he was Sada, when he had the high top fade and the blonde, then his hair and shit like that, right? And I'm actually waiting for him. I think that Sada Baby can be a savior to the city of Detroit because he's an instant hit maker.
I know it.
And I think Detroit needs Sada. They need that. And people look at it, well, his music was all kind of like turned up, but Detroit needs that fun again. They need that turned up shit again. They need that. So I'm waiting for him to kind of like shake it off and come on with it.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat.
Because he's one of the most talented rappers that Detroit has seen in a generation.
I listened to all the new 3 tapes, those 3, like the black tape, the green tape, and all that stuff, and I was just like, damn, when is it gonna come back to old Sada? But sometimes that just happens, right? Like Tee Grizzley's kind of on the same boat. His first album was legendary, second tape was cool, and then it kind of like the storytelling mode started. But it's like, damn, can we get that original shit?
I mean, once you become a star and once you ascend to that level, there's so many other things that come in. So people, I think it might be unfair for us to say, well, why haven't they come with this, that, and the third? But when you ascend to that level of stardom and fame, life starts to bear down on you. That shit, you got money now.
Yeah.
You got fame now. You have instant recognition now. But that shit takes a toll on people, and it makes people disenchanted with the whole entertainment game. And it makes a motherfucker really want to get away from that shit. But as a fan of hip hop, and as a fan of the culture, and as somebody who wants to see Detroit succeed and win, or Michigan as a whole succeed and win, we thinking about what we want.
Yeah.
Versus what the motherfucker might be actually going through.
And that's a really good point. Like, real life circumstances are always going to be evolving in different ways that we don't understand. I still am close friends with Sada, but when I was really close to him, I did see the overwhelming amount of people that expect from him. Mm-hmm. And that just gets bigger and bigger and bigger the bigger you get. Mm-hmm. One of his friends recently passed away, unfortunately, and I read the comments under the post, and one guy took shots at Sada saying, see, you lost your friend because you weren't there for him, or whatever the case might be. And when I read that, I was just like, man, I forgot how many people really have expectations from this dude to be a part of your life and take you in these directions and help you and this and that. Probably 10,000 people expect something from the guy. Imagine that overloading amount of things happening, and then you got to make music on top of that. I will say the Twitch stream is interesting from Tee and Sada's side, though, because that's kind of when the music slowed down massively. Like once Tee started doing the streaming, boom,
Streaming is a check. So what that was, it was an expansion of just their overall entertainment palettes, their overall entertainment platters. Yeah. Right? Can you make money on Twitch? Yeah, twitching and YouTubing. Not even podcasting.
Yeah.
It's a constant check. It's a constant flow and source of revenue.
But do you feel like it hurts artists in any way? Do you feel like it kind of takes their mind away from it and also puts too much exposure on them? Where it's like you get access to this guy at all times, and then on top of that,
but that's what people want. People want access. People want to feel like they know an artist. They want that takes an artist from a rapper or a singer to the next level. People want to know about you.
Really?
People, I mean, because listen, people. I mean, so up until maybe, so people like to know or like to feel like they know you. When they feel like they know you, it makes them more comfortable with you.
I grew up not knowing too much about the rappers I was listening to besides their interviews and what quotes were written about them, and the mystique made me fall in love with them more. I would only see glimpses of Pac, I would only see glimpses of glimpses of DMX, short little bits here and there.
Too much access is a bad thing.
I think so.
Because you take the mystery of a person away.
Yeah.
We know you. We know what you think about Trump. We know what you think about
what cereals you're eating.
That is too much. So you take the superstar feeling away. I know you. You're not a mysterious. You're not Michael Jackson. We want to know what Michael Jackson was playing with the monkeys and shit, right? We know what Mike was doing. But now we know everything you're doing. We know what kind of car you drive. We know what jeweler you go to. We know basically where you stay. We know where you like to travel to, like Houston, Miami, Atlanta.
It's like a lot of exposure.
All that shit. So it's too much access, and so people feel like they know you. People feel like they know you. They get too comfortable with you, and then there's no star status quality about you.
Yes. I noticed. I mean, this is a touchy one, so I'm gonna tread very lightly with this one. But me and you both met Jobina at one time. You knew her more than me.
Mm-hmm.
But I met her, and she was a great person. She was actually the person that gave me the opportunity to continue to work with Scoop when we first started shooting music videos.
Mm-hmm.
But recently, there's been like talks and rumors and whatnot, and I don't want to get too deep into it, but I haven't seen any major headline talk about the situation about her. I'm only seeing the underground cats talk about the conspiracies behind her departure. What do you think that these media outlets are just creating random ass headlines? Do you think that it's unfair to be able to say these things when there is no evidence, but you can still smear somebody's name with something that's untrue?
So let me answer that question this way. The world of YouTube, the YouTube streets, as we affectionately refer to it as, there are a lot of players in the YouTube streets, and different players have different strategies. They have different methods of how they choose to do what they do. And we also have a segment of people who play in the YouTube streets or travel or traverse the YouTube streets. We have a segment of people who actually fancy themselves as investigative journalists, and their intentions are as clear as what they say them or what they say they are. They are people trying to find as many clues to criminal activity or perceived criminal activity as they possibly can. The people like the Poetic Flacos, the Wack 100s, the Loose Cannon bitch ass, the Brick Baby bitch ass, the Sada Nashes, all of these investigative journalist motherfuckers, they are taking this shit too far. Just say you're the police. Just say you're trying to aid and assist law enforcement to get a motherfucker knocked down. And when you talk about the whole Tee Grizzey situation, I came out and I said something to those guys.
Seen you.
Because it was necessary. And I wanted to ask the question because I thought what Wack 100, Loose Cannon, Brick Baby, Christopher Soft Ass Lovejoy, Big 600, I thought that the whole Exposures Camp Wack crew, his Clubhouse and YouTube crew, I thought that shit was just a one-off that was just a LA thing. Come to find out, and then you throw in 1090 Jake because he does his whole thing. But 1090 Jake is just really reporting on things that transpired in the past. He ain't really trying to Vlad the motherfucker. He ain't trying to, build a fucking federal case. But the Wack 100s of the world, they have taken the YouTube streets and turned it into a tool. They are the modern day hip hop police. Mm-hmm. And I said something to them because as a Detroiter, I feel like it was unfair how they were trying to connect the dots. Just because something may appear to look like something, that don't mean what it is. You don't believe me? How many exonerees have you interviewed?
Shit.
Several. How many exonerees have you interviewed? An exoneree is somebody who's wrongly convicted of a capital offense and sent to prison for 20 years. Just because, and it may have looked like to the jurors, they may have looked like to the judge, if it was just a bench trial, that person was guilty. You don't know what the fuck going on. Yeah. The whole fact of the matter is, as far as motherfuckers trying to put clues together and trying to create and come up, I ain't never seen so many podcasters who never mentioned Detroit a day in their life talk about how many confidential sources they had from Detroit. When did you bitch ass niggas develop so many confidential sources about what the fuck going on in Detroit? All of a sudden something is newsworthy. All these bitch ass motherfuckers got confidential sources who they can't name. Get your bitch ass out of here. They all the police. They need to be slapped down to the ground.
It is kind of wild, man. These people are talking about real life cases and shit and trying to
they don't give a fuck.
Man, I would just, bro, if I was a rapper on that level and somebody made those claims against me, bro, you would not be alive, bro. I'll tell you that right now.
Well,
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck all that.
Figuratively speaking, of course, we get it. But the whole thing is, man, I was critical of the Sada Nashes and the Poetic Flacos. Then Wack 100, he didn't want to jump in because Wack 100 got family here in the city of Detroit, and he didn't know how it was going to play out Because we now know that his family here are members of law enforcement, and then we know who their families are.
Why are we
so
still
he didn't
listening
want
to
to touch it.
Why are people still listening to podcasters that are literally like helping aid police?
Because motherfuckers are police. They don't give a fuck. They want to be entertained. Listen, that shit with Wack 100 was all entertaining until it wasn't entertaining. Yeah. It was all fun and games until it wasn't. Until Big U got indicted, and then you understood that Wack 100 was really Wack 100 played the role of prosecutor. And the loose cannons and the brick babies and all them other goofy ass stupid motherfuckers, he walked them into providing substantive evidence against Big U. What did you do? Oh, Big U was out in the parking lot, but he told us to squeeze Meek Mills, grab him up, hold him, call Rick Ross, say if you don't give us some money, then we're gonna find him in the trunk. Oh, loose cannon had us. They were interviewing people.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just podcasting. No, it's not just podcasting. Wack 100 intentionally went and found these stupid motherfuckers who had fell out of favor or were disgruntled Big U former employees or henchmen, and he convinced them, these gangbangers, bro. These are Crips and Bloods. He convinced them that talking about crimes that they were a part of was appropriate. And that's why you see Loose Cannon and Brick Baby sitting in a federal holding facility indicted with Big U, because most of the shit they talking about, they participated in. Man. You ain't never seen no shit like that. That shit is Freudian. He is a mad scientist when it comes to tricking an undereducated, underdeveloped, simple-minded nincompoop into telling on their motherfucking self.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking insane, dude. Not gonna lie. It's crazy to see it come to this. Podcasting world is becoming its own.
You just gotta pick and choose like everything
itself.
Else. Yeah. But I told you, we talked about this many times. Yeah. People didn't listen. YouTube and the podcasters, people underestimate the power of YouTube, and people think that YouTube and Instagram and social media is the same shit. It's not. YouTube is an entirely different beef. You can't. Motherfuckers try to shut me down. Try to shut you down.
Yeah.
Charleston White is one of the most explosive, lightning rod / polarizing figures that we have in the urban hip hop entertainment media type thingy.
Yeah.
You don't think they want to shut him down?
Oh, for sure.
Right. They've never been able to do it. You know why? Because people have an insatiable appetite to hear people go at each other. They want to hear the mess. They want to hear all the bad shit. They don't want to hear shit positive, bro.
He went crazy about George Floyd the other day, basically saying like, he's basically said F George Floyd and he died off fentanyl. And I was kind of just sitting there like, damn, son, can you like, what's the point of this right now? Like,
the point is he wants to, so whenever he's not being mentioned in the algorithm, whenever he's not popping, whenever he's not trending in the algorithm, he looks for topics, or he looks for people who have fame or infamy, and he attacks them in order to raise his level of, in order to raise people's level of interest in him, so they can in turn hear what it is he has to say. Because don't forget, this whole thing the whole YouTube space has been driven by views, clicks, and likes. Whether it's StreamYard, whether you are on Twitch, whether you're on YouTube, is all driven by clicks and likes. So if he says some outrageous shit, then he's going to get paid for that interview to talk about the outrageous shit that he said about whoever.
Yeah, because he charges for features. I mean, like he's probably one of the highest paid hip hop features like you can pay for. He getting paid more for an interview than rappers get paid to rap. Exactly. I think they tried to charge me $15 2 years ago.
That's a verse. That's a verse from anybody in Detroit, right?
Shit.
Except for maybe one or two people.
You know what I'm saying? It's but at the time I was kind of like, man, you know what? Like, I know a lot of people say crazy shit on my podcast, but if that was one person, I was like, I don't even know what the fuck I would say to this dude, because some shit's just too crazy. I think people are even intimidated by you and inviting you on their shows. Like,
people don't want to invite me on because they're afraid what other people are gonna say. Yeah. Shout out to Rock Cobain. Shout out to the Everybody Has a Voice podcast who were brave enough. And shout out to the Forum magazine. They're always reaching out to me, and they're brave enough to come on and let me just do my own thing. You hear me?
You got a song with hell of a track.
Yeah.
Talk about that, man. How'd you guys put that together?
Man, shit. Chewy was Crispy Life Kid manager. Yeah. Chewy called me and said, man, I'm dropping the album, bro. This was like 7-8 months ago. Is it August now?
Yeah.
I think it was like February. He contacted me like, man, I I like how you do what you do, man. I need a song for you for my mixtape, Monkey in the Middle. I think it was 1. I missed it because I never did. I had that beat minus the drums. I had that beat from Chewy in February. I didn't actually go do the song until May. And then after the song was done, Helliver heard it and said, I want to add drums to it because there was no drums. It was just all like
synth
instrumentation and loop and shit like that. Helliver added the drums and it went from there. It debuted number 2 on Amazon Music charts, right behind Drake's project. And then it is charting right now. I put out maybe 30, 40 songs in my career.
Yeah.
It is charting better than any song I've ever done, for obvious reasons. This is my first Helliver beat I ever rapped on, so his name recognition carries it as well. And Chewy's doing a great job with marketing and promoting. And I have a follow up coming too. That's nuts. It's crazy. But I'm the Billboard coming. You know what I'm saying? And from all the projections, the whole is going to hit Billboard Top 200 because right now it's doing amazing on all streaming platforms. Yeah. So it's going crazy. So I'm happy with that. You ain't never too old to drop a hit record. So young guys, don't give up on yourself.
As long as you can back it up, man. You got that. If you got that confidence behind yourself, you'll be good. Like right now, fucking pop back up out of nowhere, Activelli.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers would be like, I don't give a fuck how old Activelli is.
Nah, hit record.
Yeah, nah, they don't give a fuck.
2 Chainz.
It's hard to come up as an older rap. Like if you don't have no name out of nowhere,
it's hard. Because look at you kind of crazy. Like I'm an OG, right? And I'm unapologetic about the shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk my shit. And you know, young people like me. It's the old motherfuckers who don't like me. Young motherfuckers, young hood niggas, young people. Period. You know, black, white, green, purple, they like me. They get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm a rebellious spirit.
You know what's interesting about the OGs too, man? I think like me and you kind of talked about it before we started filming, like the hierarchy that there is in the Detroit music scene. Obviously, there's a hierarchy. Obviously, like people look at each other like some people are pawns, some people are kings, whatever the case might be. Some of the OGs don't realize in like 5 years, bro, it's over. That generation, like nobody's gonna be talking about you at all, and they're still disrespecting the guys that are coming up right now, and that's gonna be like, okay, when we're up in 5 years and we look back at you and you're extinguished,
we ain't fucking with you.
We're not gonna help you, bro. There was plenty of times. I'm not gonna say who's who, but some of the OGs are trying to charge me to do interviews. I was like, yo, like what?
Listen.
In 5 years, I'm telling you right now, you're gonna be paying me to come do an interview in 5 years. You know what I'm saying? To some of these OGs, like there's a weird ass hierarchy going on.
That's Detroit for you. There are people who believe in their minds that they are more important and more necessary than they actually are. That's just it. That is it. There's nothing more than that because motherfuckers, Detroit is an arrogant city, bro. So you have motherfuckers who are not it. You have motherfuckers who've never been it. Run around here with an arrogant, high-minded attitude. So you know the motherfuckers who were it or had some of it, had a taste of it, you know they really coming that. I'm going to charge you for an interview. Why on earth would I pay you to interview you when you're going to benefit from me interviewing you? Nobody gives a fuck about your story. Why would I pay you to interview you? Oh, you're looking in my pockets. You think that I'm rich, so you feel like that your story is worth. First of all, you're not even finna come on here and give me raw gutter. If I want to interview you, you finna come on here and play games. You ain't finna come on here and
pay for a fucking interview unless there's contingencies inside of a contract that literally says like we have to talk about these topics and you have to be expansive about it.
Never pay them,
bro. Never fucking pay because they're just gonna you pay them and they sit down and they go, I don't know about nothing. I don't know about that. And they don't talk about nothing. It's like, what the fuck were we even? What did you get paid for? I learned that a long time. I only paid 2 people for an interview ever, and I learned both times don't fucking ever pay somebody for an interview
ever again.
But anyway, the hierarchy, man. Producers aren't getting paid, videographers aren't getting paid, photographers aren't getting paid. They're kind of getting belittled as if their contributions aren't really worthy of value. So what do you think is going on out here?
Well, so when you have established artists, let's just start with the whole producer thing. So you have artists who would like for especially the up and coming producers, to look at working with them like it's a privilege.
Right.
And in some cases, in many respects, it is, because if I'm an up and coming, if I'm an up and coming producer, would I want to slide a beat up under Ice Vezo? Yes. Would I want to slide a beat under Baby Tron? Yes. Would I want to slide a beat under Baby Money? Yes. Would I want to slide a beat under? Yes.
Anybody that's
right. Anybody who popping in and have emotion. Yes. So as an up and coming producer, sometimes you got to eat that, because if you want to get placements, right, and you don't really have a track record, but you have beats that motherfuckers, yeah. But as the established artist, try to be as fair as possible. I know that you feel like you're giving them a look by even rapping on their beat, but remember the times when you were up and coming and you were looking for your first check for a feature, or your first check for a show. These people who are putting hit records or serviceable records up under your beats, up under your lyrics, try to be as fair as possible with them. What's happening is that we have people who feel like they're so big of a star that they don't have to pay a producer for a beat, nor do they have to give them their publishing, which is the craziest shit in the world. Because how would you feel if you were on a hit record and you dropped a verse on the hit record and you found out that the person didn't give you your publishing when you were due your publishing? You would be calling your lawyer and your manager. Your manager would be calling your lawyer. You would be calling your manager. Your manager would be calling your lawyer to get that shit either took down or sue a motherfucker for the proceeds for whatever the strings was. So you just have motherfuckers with a high-minded attitudes who feel like they're bigger than the program and you're beneath me and fuck you, I ain't got to give you shit. But I do understand, like I made the analogy, like Beyonce, for example. If I'm a producer, let's say Hell of a is at the top of the totem pole, right? Let's say if Beyonce say, hey, Hell of a, I want a beat from you. I like you. I dig you. I want to do like a hip hop R&B collab. I want to do something on your beats. And if she said, well, they finished the project, they finished the song, and she said, hey, well, I want you to surrender. You're entitled to 50% of the song because you're the composer. I want you to surrender 20% of your 50% to me.
Yeah.
Or I'm not going to put the song out.
He's going to do it.
He's going to do it because to have a song with Beyonce on it is worth more. It's 30% of something is worth more than 100% of nothing.
Yeah.
And you're going to get business. So I do understand that certain artists feel like if I rap on your beat, I'm helping you. And I'm helping you to garner or to get business because people are going to see me or hear me on your beat. And you're going to get business. You're going to generate business because I am who I am.
Fact.
I get that as well. But you got to be fair in the music business. You wouldn't like if somebody did it to you if the tables were turned.
I understand what you're saying. Coming from a videographer background where I used to shoot music videos all the time and you used to do a lot of free music videos and all those such things, whatever, for bigger artists. The thing is, you have to be responsible as the producer or as the video director to understand that the more you kind of hang on to those artists or the more that you allow them to do, the more they will do to you.
Right.
So if I'm a music video director, I could be working for Tee Grizzey, but I have to kind of distance the fact that I'm working for Tee Grizzey a little bit. I have to be like, I'm going to do my best work possible for him, but I'm not going to sit there and go like, oh, I'm working with Tee Grizzey. Oh, I got to open on access and give all the doors possible. You have to create a little bit of a boundary that's like, hey, I'm working too. I'm doing other things too. If you really value me in the future, you'll pay or you'll get me something at the back end. But I can't do this thing where it's free all the time. Look, most of the guys that were doing free stuff, bro, forever, never amounted to anything.
They fucked up right now.
Yeah, they're chilling.
They ain't even on the radar no more.
They're like freaking out. Like, I used to shoot music videos for Big Sean. What the fuck are you talking? It's like, all right, bro, but
they
like,
threw
what
now.
happened? Yeah, like
they,
what?
Because you allowed yourself to be used.
Yeah, you got starstruck. That's the problem. When you're a music video director and you become starstruck, or you're a producer and you become starstruck by the artist itself, eventually it wears out and all you did was give out free work. You didn't really build that much of your brand and you really didn't generate that much of income, and now by the end of their career it's the end of your career because
and
you
then
didn't expand.
You ignored other artists and other people who wanted to work with you because you was so busy up this motherfucker ass right here. Right? Because all the artists, they really want Jerry HP videos anyway. They don't want videos from Bing, 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 and Bing. They really wish they could afford a Jerry HP video.
Jerry did it the right way.
Yeah,
Jerry had boundaries. He had quality work. He had a good network with the artists. He didn't allow anybody to push him around. he figured it out. He like built his platform. He really treated everything like a business so that he had a value. Once the artist sees that you're of value and that you have other things going on besides them, then they'll respect you and they'll contribute.
Yeah. Have you ever interviewed Jerry?
No, we're supposed to though.
Bro,
I met him a long time ago. He was cool cat.
That would be one of the most historic interviews you've ever done.
You know what's funny?
If you can land him.
Everybody says Jerry.
You know how young he is?
Like 29, 30?
He's not 30.
He's younger.
With all that fame and with all that skill, Jerry HP is young. He's not 30 years old yet.
Oh my God, he's still young.
Yeah, he's still young.
Everybody says he's the only video director that looks like a rapper. It's kind of funny. I want to talk to...
Yeah, really cool though. Really humble.
Yeah, I want to talk to a little bit about... There's a situation going on with the candidacy for Detroit mayor. Obviously, there's only 2 people in the primaries right now. Mary Sheffield is dominating right now.
And Kinlock, yeah. And Bishop Kinlock.
Mary Sheffield and the way she approaches and she's a part of the community, how much do you value her approach to her candidacy? Do you value it a lot, or do you think that there's more that needs to be done?
We're talking about politics here.
Yeah. As
a politician who is vying for the awesome responsibility of becoming Detroit's next mayor, politics is about strategy, is about game planning. When it comes to tapping in with and making people feel like that she actually cares about what happens, I haven't seen anybody do it better since early Kwame Kilpatrick. Mary Sheffield, she understands the pulse of the city. And she's going to be, it's going to be next to Mary Sheffield. Unless, are they term limits in Detroit mayor? Is it 2 term limits, right?
It's like you can only be mayor twice?
Is it term limits?
I'm not sure. 12 years.
12 years. Mary Sheffield, as young as she is, as vibrant as she is, as articulate as she is, I can see her being mayor for as long as she wants to be, brother. You know what I mean? Because she's that dynamic, and I respect Pastor Bishop Kinlock as well. He's a dynamic person. He's a super intelligent person. He's an astute and acute business person. I think Detroit. I mean, either candidate, Detroit couldn't go wrong. To be truthful, because when you look at both of them, they both have pedigrees. They both are intelligent people, very educated, and they're both 2 sincere people, right? They're not charlatans. They're not. They are people persons, and they are selfless. They're not selfish. So I wouldn't have a problem with either one of them, man.
For sure.
Mary Sheffield is a star. Mary Sheffield can go on to be a senator. She can go on to be governor.
Yeah. She's pristine. Doggy, is there anything you want to talk about before we close down, man? Anything
Hell no.
Okay. I'll give you a quick fire round, man. Some shit.
All right, that's it.
We'll get some things out the way. How do you feel about Hulk Hogan?
Fuck that racist son of a bitch. And his daughter got good pussy from what I heard.
Okay. When Chico Bean, you guys took a photo together.
My God, Chico Bean, solid.
What was the connection?
Somerset.
Yeah, what was the connection with you
Man,
guys?
listen, Chico Bean has been following me for years, and every time I lose a page, I don't lose pages. Every time somebody launches a campaign to get my page took, report me to the Meta Police, Chico Bean finds me. Chico Bean is one of the funniest motherfuckers in hip hop. I mean, in comedy world right now. That's my guy. I saw him at Somerset. When he saw me, he was shopping. You know what I'm saying? He saw me like, "Doggy, what's up, man?" I'm like, "What up, Chico? You good?" So I've been in touch with Chico for 7-8 years, man.
Sure.
Really cool dude, really dope guy.
Dope. Cash Doll and being single now. How do you feel about that?
She ain't single. She back. They back together.
Oh, they're back together?
They back together.
Oh,
Yo boo. She Cash Doll's a pimp.
What happened?
Ain't nothing happened. Cash Doll a pimp.
Damn, son.
Cash is a pimp. He ain't going nowhere.
Man.
He ain't going nowhere. Cash a pimp.
Damn. Yeah, she's in control.
She's definitely in control.
Eshawn painting his nails. Is that trip?
He's been doing that.
Yeah, why are people
30
tripping
years.
about that? Yeah, it's weird.
I don't know. He's been doing it for 30 years.
Yeah, it don't even matter. Right?
That don't even matter.
The last thing I wanted to ask you about. Oh yeah, just shout out to the new chain that you got coming out, man. I know it's not here today, but yeah, it looks fire.
Well, hey, listen. I mean, yeah. Shout out. You got diamond tester here?
No, shit.
Okay, so next, listen.
I'll bring a
new
diamond
rule.
tester. Bring a diamond tester.
New, and then make sure you get the one that tests for moissanite and lab diamonds as well. It might cost a little more, but it's worth it.
Bitch about to be going off.
Come in here with that jury on. You gotta
Before
submit.
you can do the interview, you gotta get
You
tested.
gotta submit, or take that shit off and leave it outside.
Was the red zone ever the blue zone in Detroit?
Yes, it was. It was GDs. Absolutely.
You can break it down for us.
48205. The 48 will the red zone officially from Gratiot to Kelly Road from 8 Mile to 7 Mile red zone. That shit was before I went to prison. Even Meringue was really red at Meringue, and that shit was all GDs and Crips. It was all GDs first, then Crips. That's a known fact. Anybody say it wasn't? Is it too young to know or to understand, or just lying? I don't even know why they even lie about it.
When did the blue zone become the red zone?
Shit, I would say in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
In the early 2000s, when a lot of those guys with GDs started getting locked up in the early mid 90s. Yeah, because when I was over there, it was all blue. You know what I'm saying? I bought my first house over there, Yorkshire and King Richard area. That was 91. It was blue over there then. 91, it was blue. Yeah. It was all motherfucking Crips, the local boys, and it was GDs. It was all GD and Crips over there.
So, interesting facts from my dog, Dawgface Calderon, man. Appreciate you pulling up, man. Appreciate you doing this talk. Every time you're in town, you know I got to hit you up to hop on here, man. Hopefully, next time you come through, we can do a longer talk. I know this one's a little bit shorter, but always much appreciated.
It's short, but it's powerful, bro.
Yes, sir,
we just explosion. Great minds think alike. We don't need all day to talk about simple shit.
Dawgface Calderon was in the building. Everybody go check out Attracted. We're at Parallel Sound Studio, Hollow Visual Shootings Productions. Route. Peace.